Queen's Gambit star AnyaTaylor-Joy's in this, who's always amazing to watch. Why is everything so effortless for her? She just acts the crap out of everything she's in like it's nothing. The main character, though, is actress Thomasin McKenzie as Eloise. She puts in a very strong performance. I recognized her from somewhere, but I couldn't quite place it until I went on IMDb. Saw she was previously in Old. That movie. Even though she puts in a really good performance, something about her voice starts to really aggravate me as the movie goes on. By the end of it, she's at this little baby chipmunk voice, and I couldn't do it. I can't stand that. In the intro, I mentioned how Edgar Wright's one of my favorite directors, and that's because he does things outside of the box. Scott Pilgrim's a favorite of mine. I adore that movie. Shaun of the Dead is a classic. Baby Driver is oozing with cool. The guy knows how to make great movies, is the bottom line here. And I also stated at the beginning that this movie left me a little empty at the end, and that's because the movie's final 10 minutes are perplexing. I'm not spoiling anything. There's just a tonal shift in the last 10 to 15 minutes, both narratively and visually, that just kind of had me going, what? Not that it doesn't add up or make sense, it just doesn't add up or make sense. And the two other people that joined me for this movie also felt the same. All three of us enjoyed it. We appreciate that it's not another cookie cutter movie like most of the stuff is nowadays. It's just churned out on a factory conveyor belt. This feels like Edgar Wright in some ways. I will say it's the most, I shouldn't say grounded, it's certainly not grounded, the story's pretty wild, but there's not like the quick cuts and the zaniness going on in this one that you get, you know, he has kind of a comedic style that overlays everything else. Here it's a little bit more conventional in terms of the drama and the intensity of what's playing out. There's not a lot of tongue-in-cheek stuff. One thing you will find in every Edgar Wright movie, though, is phenomenal music. Here is no different. This time the music's pulled right out of the 60s, and that's because Eloise, a aspiring fashion designer, gets the opportunity of a lifetime to go work in London, where she absolutely adored going as a child. Now she's back, but things have changed. Things are not the London she used to know. She misses the 60s nostalgia that she never experienced herself firsthand, but she knows because of her mother and her grandmother and the beautiful, amazing music they played for her. Now her mother, R.I.P., is gone. She dies off camera before the movie even starts. But the girl Eloise sees her. She's got that Haley Joel Osment thing going on, that Sixth Sense, or that Michael J. Fox, The Frighteners. To say something way more obscure, but better. Since she is so connected, she will find a way to bridge her time with that of the 60s. She will be able to experience the 60s like she always wanted, through the eyes of Sandy. All of the dreams, all the music, all the dancing, all the colors, all the people, the sights, the sounds, they're hers to take in. Along with a lot of really bad stuff that she didn't know about the 60s. I won't go any deeper into it than that. I will just say that Edgar Wright crafts a very nice mystery thriller here. It's visually beautiful. I've already talked about the music, but it is something very special. There's a couple singing numbers. We got a dancing number in here. The way he handles the reflections between Eloise and Sandy is really remarkable. I have no idea how they do it half the time. Actually, I don't know how they do it pretty much all of the time. It's quite remarkable to see play out. The supporting actors are all really fun too. You have the mean girl troupe that Eloise lives with very briefly. You have the kind of on-again, off-again boyfriend who's really in the friend zone for most of this film, and he's doing whatever he can to get to first base. I feel bad for the kid, I really did. Just a bad situation all around. The elderly woman she stays with, I believe the actress is from Game of Thrones and probably a bunch of other things, but that's what I recognized her from. She's fantastic. It's a tough one because from beginning to end, it's a really well-crafted movie. It's just the last 15 minutes that not only drops the ball, but kind of discredits a lot of the previous movie. The character decisions and motivations go from 0 to 100 so fast. It's almost characteristic. And I can't go into any further detail than that. I was bummed out. I was let down. And the more I think about it, the more I'm let down, which isn't good. There's definitely a lot of intense moments, but not moments I would consider scary in the slightest. As far as gore, very little. There's just like one part. Not a lot of action in this movie. It's very light on action. It really is just all about solving a mystery, and when it's solved, it's a little disappointing. As far as Edgar Wright movies go, this is probably last place for him, in my opinion. As far as regular movies go, it's still above most of the crap that's coming out now. And for that reason, I would absolutely recommend still seeing it. And if you have, please let me know in the comments what you thought, if I'm dead wrong about the ending.